Alright, it's Coach Nick here again. We're talking about the YTWL circuit. We just focused on the Y's, now we're going to focus on the T. That's where your arms are out. So the first thing that you'll see a lot of people do when they do these T's, if I'm lying prone here, is they have their thumbs back. That's great to do when you're in a Y position, and actually I've seen some people when they do their Y's, I'll throw this out, have like maybe grab a dowel rod and lift with their palms down. That is not a good idea, because if you have any sort of possible impingement happening, that's going to open you up for a little bit more irritation and injury. So when you're doing Y's, you definitely want to have your thumbs up. However, when you're doing the T's and you externally rotate, there's not as much option there to get your rhomboids and your middle trapezius as it is keeping your wrist like this. Okay, it's just a cue that I'll get into in a second, but this tends to over-recruit the external rotators and drive the scapulas a little bit lower than they should be to maximally recruit the rhomboids. Believe it or not, the rhomboids are slightly angled, so they're actually partially responsible for elevating your scapulas as well as in bringing them together. So someone that has overactive rhomboids, as they would shrug, would actually bring the shoulder blades together as well. That's actually overactive rhomboid. So we want to try to minimize that. We want to allow the scapulas maybe to be upwards, but we also want them to go together. So we want to actually keep the hands in this position, not in this position when we do the T's. So just to demonstrate, the best way to do a T is get in this position here, palms flat, and I want to think about driving my shoulder blades together first. Okay, so basically like if I had two bands pulling my arms out, I'd pull them in together, and then I'd lift high. Okay, let them stretch out. So bringing my arms, I'm basically trying to bring my arms short. Okay, bringing everything together and then lift. So it's not necessarily squeeze, it's drive your shoulder blades together behind you. And then squeeze and hold. And then come down. So not only do you have a little bit better tweak on the hands, it's going to ensure better muscle recruitment, but it's the mentality of what you're thinking about when you're creating your scapulas. We always think shoulder blades down and back, shoulder blades down and back, and I'll tell you why that's not always a good option all the time in the next post. But the way the rhomboids are designed, you don't want the scapulas down and back, because the rhomboids are responsible for partially elevating the scapula. So you want the scapulas upwards. So that's why we keep the palms like this. So again, another smarter way to do your YTWL shoulder circuit training.